What's up guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Mannadium, and this is going to be how to play it. Let's get right into the video. First of all, let's start off with the giveaway. The giveaway for this is going to be this sealed Mystical Elf White Lightning. I think this one's really cool because the name's like all messed up, even though it's like a promo card that's still sealed. I don't know, I think it's cool. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is like, comment, and be a subscriber. This video is going to be broken down into a few different sections. We're going to go over the deck, which by the way, go to part 1 of the video. It'll be a Mannadium deck profile. That is the exact deck list we are using for this video. So if you want to follow along with your deck or with any sort of program, that's the deck list we're going to be using. After we cover the deck, we're going to go into hand objective, what your objective is in your first hand, and kind of some supporter cards you can play to get to what you want your starting hand to be, which naturally will lead into cons of the deck / one card combos. There is pretty much none, but I will still touch on it. Then we'll go into 2 card combos. You can see quite a bit with 2 card combos as far as how the deck is played, but we're going to do a couple test hands at the very end, and honestly the test hands are probably going to take up most of this video. But let's jump into the deck real quick. So the crazy thing about the deck is, in reality, 19 cards, that is your deck. Everything else is basically supporter cards to where you can, find a way to support your 19 cards the absolute best way possible, and consistency is an issue. This is Mannadium right here. And then, as a lot of deck profiles would have, including mine, you can have 2 Reichart, 2 Arrival, 1 Reichphobia. A lot of decks will run 2-2-2, or 1 Reichart, 1 Arrival, 2 Reichphobia, because Reichphobia is just a really good card. Some people call it the best planet. But things right here in the Scareclaw engine could be swapped out for like a Hero Lives or something like that. You could run 1-1-1, which is what I used to do, and then 3 A Hero Lives, 1 Prisma. But since the deck's release, I'm sure you guys have heard, consistency is an issue. And I don't really feel like it is an issue at all, but that's just because of how I've built it, and you can build it any way you want. And if you decide you would like to run 2 Arrival, 2 Reichart, and 1 Planet, you still have 16 extra spaces in your deck to help with consistency issues, or to make sure you can get off your plays, things like, I don't know, let's see, like Called By, for example. So consistency, a huge consistency thing that I added to make it really good is 1 Trivy Karma and 3 Foolish Burial Goods, because you can send things like, say you have a Starfrost in hand and no way to really get him out. You can Foolish Burial Goods, Obsidian, and then banish Obsidian to special summon Starfrost, which can start your plays, because then you can go into Lightheart, the Link 1 monster, search a Reichphobia, that will search Reichart will special underneath the Lightheart, and then he will search an Arrival, and if you happen to have a Starfrost Engraved, you can use that and just go on from there. But that starts at absolutely nothing if you have a Starfrost in hand and no way to get him out. What you really want in your starting hand is going to be a Reamheart, and there are ways to get him. You can Rhoda him, obviously. If it comes down to it, you could normal summon a Meek, Obsidian that Meek to pop it, search the field spell, activate the field spell to search him. Maybe you already started with the field spell, you can search him off of that. But you would like to see him in your starting hand, or get to a hand that has him. You would like a Meek, of course, and an Obsidian. So most hands that you have, when you draw your 5 cards, you turn them over, you start going through them, see what you've got. You would like to see a Meek and an Obsidian, or potentially a Reamheart and a Meek, or a Reamheart and an Obsidian. This is the less optimal one, but it is something. Or maybe you can start with all 3. But you want to start with 2 of these 3 cards, or have a way to get them. Like I said, if you have this, for example, you could just Rhoda, bring him in. So you want to work the hand when you first get started. Maybe throw a Terraforming out. Even if you have a field spell, it's great bait. Throw a Terraforming out, you could search the field spell. If you absolutely wanted to, you could Foolish Burial Goods to pitch Trivy Karma, and then activate Trivy Karma's effect to banish, and search any spell or trap that lists Visa Starfrost, which is every single spell and trap in the Mannadium engine that we use in the deck. Generally it's going to be the field spell, but if you have a way to get the field spell, then a good choice to always go into or to look for is Reframing. You do search Reframing if you have a full combo, But if your combo isn't full combo, it's good to just, search it right out of the gate. Maybe not right out of the gate, but during your turn, and then maybe search something else. Once you're looking at your hand, then you have 2 of these 3. Let's say we have these guys. I mean, you're just gonna normal him and search Meek, and then special Meek. Or if you have something like this, you could normal Meek, Obsidian Pop, search the field spell, activate the field spell, and then search this guy. Then Meek's effect is going to trigger, and it's not from the grave, it's actually going to special summon from the deck, increase level by 2, and then Obsidian's effect, you're going to banish, and then special summon him back. So basically, no matter what, you're going to end up exactly in the same place. Reamheart is the only one that will search a Mannadium card. Other things in the deck will search either a spell or trap, or a Mannadium monster, but he will search whatever. So starting with him will get you to either one of these, whatever you're missing. And if you don't start with him, the one I wanted to run you through is you normal Meek, activate Obsidian, you're going to blow Meek up to add the field spell to your hand. Meek's effect's going to happen in grave, special another Meek, he's going to be level 4 if you want, which you really do want to. If you haven't gotten to Excel Synchron yet, you want to increase his level by 2. Calarium's effect to search Reamheart, and now you activate Obsession, banish that to special Ream. But the reason why that's the least optimal way to do it is because you wasted your Calarium search on a Reamheart, and the deck needs to get Starfrost in play as quickly as possible. So let's see what would happen if we did the same thing, but we searched Starfrost instead. So we could normal Meek, activate Obsidian, pop Meek, search the field spell, Meek's effect, special, activate the field spell, search a Starfrost instead. Now we have Starfrost in our hand. We do a couple things here. Obsidian is in the grave. We could banish it and just special. Or we could get a reborn off of it. We activate Starfrost, target Meek, pop Meek. Meek is not once per turn. So we'll do 1-2. We'll chain block the field spell because it needs to stay face up on the field to resolve. So we will block the field spell in there. Meek's effect in grave will bring him out. Sorry, he's special to this point. And then the monster reborn of a tuner. And we're in a good spot here to continue on comboing and doing things, but we are missing a beautiful level 4. But it's not that big of a deal because we can still get a level 4 off just linking 1 to Lightheart, Lightheart's effect to search, add a Reichphobia, activate that instead. We got 1 reborn off the field spell. Generally you want to get 1 reborn off of its effect and then immediately swap it out and sit on Reichphobia for as long as you can. But sometimes it's beneficial to, maybe if you draw another one, to activate a second one and get rid of Reichphobia. That way you get another search, which could be another Starfrost or any of the Mannadium cards. Monster, I should say. Reichphobia is going to activate and allow us to search out our medium buddy who can special right under. And then his effect will let us search out a Scareclaw spell or trap. The only one we run is Arrival. Activate Arrival. Let's move this guy out of the way. This is Graveyard up here. Activate Arrival, bringing Starfrost out. And we have a level 4 and we're kind of in the same spot at this point because the main reason we needed a level 4 and a Meek that is level 4 is to go into Stardust Excel, which will bring back 1 Meek. Which leads us to another reason why that is the less optimal way to do it without searching or starting or being able to search the Reamheart easily and early on, because now this would be a position where we would like to go into a Light and Dark Baron, and that's what we're missing out and giving away by using Reichardt as our level 4 for Excel, and then of course our level 4 Meek. So kind of a little bit all over the place there, but I just want to, by the way, this is all the cards we went into off of barely anything, and this wasn't in our hand, that was the thing. So kind of a long-winded explanation as to why you want to start with 2 of these 3 cards, and why out of the combinations starting with these 2 is the less optimal one. So continuing on with our hand objective and keeping our supporter cards up here in the top, maybe they'll ask you somewhere something you can draw to, or what I like to do is rip one from their hand because this deck searches so much as long as you don't get trolled. I mean, basically you build your board, or not even build your board, you make 1 or 2 plays and it's like, okay, is this person going to troll me? If they don't, you build your board and you ask, hey, can you really get over this? Like, can you really do it? Obviously, you might not want to actually ask that, but you know, you leave it up. It's like, can you actually get over this? Let's find out. The answer is probably no, and then you win. Or they droll you, you don't do much, and you pass. But there is actually quite a lot of combos you can do under droll if you have a good enough hand, because like Meek specials from the deck, it doesn't add to hand, so you can still get your Meeks off. Fearless is the same way. Foolish Burial of Goods will send to the grave, but then Trivy Karma will banish to search. But if you send something like Obsidian, you can still get plays off like that. It's all under droll. So droll isn't the end of the world, and since Meek and Fearless are not once per turn, you can I mean, it's never bad. Set a Meek, okay, attack it, whatever, special another one in defense, attack it, whatever, special another one in defense. I mean, preferably you're not doing it with Meek, preferably you're doing something like that with Fearless, because Meek is the one that will increase the Meek coming from the deck. The effect of the grave, once it's destroyed, it's this Meek in the grave that is activating the effect to increase level by 2. So pretend this is a Meek. If this hits the field and you're like, increase level by 2, there's nothing they can do to negate this. It's already happened. It was off of this Meek's effect. And then Fearless is the one where when he's special from the deck, all synchros for that turn gain 500 attack, which off a non-optimal hand you would not believe how many times. 7,500 seems to be the magic number. I don't know why, I just always attack for 7,500 somehow if I don't have an optimal hand. So he doesn't come up very often as far as the attack boost goes, and obviously you would like to try and go first because you set up a pretty gross negate board, make it to where your opponent, if they want to attempt to get through your board, they really can't. But anyway, continuing on with what we're going to do with our starting hand. So you can do a lot of stuff starting off 2 of any of these 3, but you want these 3 cards to be in play, not in this particular order, but you want to use your supporter cards of the deck. Remember, you have 16 options. Some are 1-ups, for example, like these 3. So those are 1-ups, and then I actually do run 3 of each of these. I run 3 Foolish Burial Goods and 3 Talents. But using your supporter cards, you want to get these 3 cards in play. Then what you need to absolutely do not listen to anybody or anything. You absolutely have to get Starfrost in play somehow. Other than Reamheart and a popped Meek, which special summons another Meek from the deck, increasing level by 2, going into Excel Synchro. Other than that, you're not going to get to any of your level 10 Synchro monsters without Starfrost. And this is, in fact, a level 10 Synchro deck. That is just what it is considered. That's what it is played. That's how you win. That's your entire win condition. So on and so forth. And as you saw a little bit just a minute ago, and as you'll see in the test hands, one 5-card hand, or I can even do a 3-card hand. One 3-card hand will go through 10 to 20 cards of our deck. If it's completely uninterrupted and a decent 3-card hand of engine cards, half of your deck's gonna already be out and in play. From this point, once you have these 3 guys in play, you do what you have to do to get a Starfrost out. There's a bunch of ways to search Starfrost. And by a bunch, I mean the field spells. But you want to get Starfrost in play. Once these 4 cards are in play, you have a pretty good... Everything else you can easily grab through Lightheart. You can search the second field spell, Reichphobia. Reichphobia will search a Reichheart, and then Reichheart were special, giving you an Arrival. So when he's synchroed away into a 10, Arrival, just bring him right back. And then the last thing you kind of want to get into play in your hand, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I would say probably 60% of the time it ends up happening in your combo. Is last but not least, you want to get your single copy of Reframing out. And as long as all your Starfrost and Reamheart / Reichhearts are not banished, it's going to be an Omni Negate Destroy if you control a Synchro. And if you do end up banishing all of them for your Astrolauds, it is still an Omni Negate if you control a Synchro, but it is not a Destroy. So this isn't necessary, but it is good to have, but I'm going to set that off to the side. So to get to this point, what can we do? Well, let's say we don't have Obsidian, but we have Terraforming. Something we can do in that scenario is Terraforming the field spell. Get the field spell out through Terraforming, and then, okay, well now we're missing a Meek Pop. So Reamheart will actually do the same thing Starfrost does. The only difference is Reamheart is a quick effect. There's not many reasons you would do it on your opponent's turn, but it does come up every now and then. So you could Meek, Reamheart, pop Meek, special, Meek's effect, pretend this one's from the deck, he'll special, and it kind of does the same thing as Obsidian. The only downside is now you have a Starfrost in hand and you can't special him, but you can activate his effect in hand, target Meek, pop the Meek, special, pretend this Meek's from deck, bring the Meek out, and it's the same sort of situation. You still have the field spell. Another supporter card, it is a 1-up, so don't rely on it constantly. Let's say you started with something like this. You didn't have your Riem Heart, and right here there's no way to get it except for Rhoda, so you could Rhoda for that as well. And now your hand does that. So that's kind of what I mean when you kind of want to make your hand how you want it. You create the hand you want using these supporter cards, and if you get ashed anywhere or anything like that, 3 of these are being ran. And if Trivia Karma is successful, we're running 3 Foolish Burial Goods. If this card goes through, you banish Trivia Karma, and then you banish Trivia Karma for its effect, or sorry, this card, you send Trivia Karma from deck to grave, banish Trivia Karma from the graveyard to search out Obsidian, either field spell, you could use it to get Reframing. Whatever you're missing, basically, use it to get that. So if you think about it like that, we're running 6 Obsidians, we're running 6 field spells, as long as it goes through. Well, 7 field spells, because there is Terraforming. 4 Reich Phobias, and I say these numbers in regards to your starting hand. Obviously, if it gets blown up, it gets blown up, especially Reich Phobia, because we're only running 1. But we're using the other 16 spaces of the deck to try and craft the perfect hand. And then talent for draw power is always good as well. But most of the time you can craft a good hand without using it. So that is your hand objective. Up next is going to be cons / 1-card combos, like worst case scenario. Because let's say this is your starting hand. It's actually not bad. So let's get rid of Terraforming. Let's make it a Fearless. Let's say this is your starting hand up here. Or let's make it even worse. Boom. 4 unknown cards. You're never allowed to see them. They never work, but you just start with this. You can do something there. I mean, there's no like full board off of 1 card. And honestly, there's no full board off 2 cards, but there is insane boards off 2 cards. And that's kind of one of the cons / 1-card combos. The cons is Droll. You can get a decent board with a good hand under Droll. It's not that big of a deal. But it does hit this deck just as hard as it has ever hit any deck that relies on searching. Number 2 is D-Shifter. You can't really play under D-Shifter. I mean, you can still get 2 level 10 synchros under D-Shifter, fully under D-Shifter, but it is rough because we want our Visa Starfrost and our Riem Heart in the grave because we banish these to get Astrolaud, and once Astrolaud's on the field, it'll be either A, we already have one of our level 2 little buddies on board, or B, we try and have a cross sheep up. That way when he hits the field, instead of reborning a level 4, we'll reborn that. That gives us a level 10 synchro monster. And then Dissipator will bring Starfrost back. And our Reich Heart that we previously used, same thing. Astrolaud comes out, and there's hopefully another little buddy on board, and that'll be another one. So D-Shifter does hit us really hard there, but we can kind of get through it. Then the last con would be, there's really no 1-card combos. But I'm going to show you a couple instances anyway, using just 1 card, just so you guys cannot have like just a purely empty board. Say you draw all 3 talents or something, and they don't ash you or anything. It's pretty much a useless card. 3 talents and a called by. They need to play something for you to called by them, but at least called by is settable. So it could come down to just relying on a Foolish Burial Goods or something like that. But before we go into the 1-card combo, I want to touch on hand objective just a little bit more so I can show you real quick what I mean when I say create the hand you want. And I guess not even what I mean by it, more like let me show you it actually being done in case you're a visual learner. So we're going to shuffle this up super good because it was kind of sorted. I mean, we messed with it a little bit, but for the most part, the cards you didn't see were sorted out. Alright, we are nice and shuffled. Let's see what we got. So 1 Meek, 1 Arrival, 1 Rhoda, 1 Field Spell, and 1 Fearless. So this isn't a bad hand, but like I said, we want to craft our hand. And the cards we want in play are these 4. So we already have the Meek, that's fine. So we can take this back. We can just play Rhoda, throw that in the grave to add him. Obsidian is a Meek pop and access to the field spell. So we already have a Meek pop because we started off with Riem Heart. So we don't necessarily need Obsidian out. But since we already have Meek, we can normal Riem Heart. Once Riem Heart's normal, we can use his effect and just search Obsidian. So now we have a Rhoda in grave, we have a Riem Heart on field, we have an Obsidian out, which since we started with the field spell, Obsidian's going to be used to search Reframing. Last piece is going to be Visas, and that's very easy. Activate Calarium, and just search the Visas. So there we go, we crafted the hand we wanted, but something I want to mention with this deck is it is very easy to get carried away with your combo. Sometimes I'll have 3 or 4 cards in hand. Set that down because I'm only working with my deck and the cards on the field. It's very easy to get carried away. So in this situation, there's something wrong with this picture. And it's not that big of a deal, but it is something to keep in mind. Calarium's going to increase all light monsters you control by 100 for every tuner on the field in the graveyard. Right now that is 0. Meek and Fearless have the same special summon requirement of a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense, or a Visa Starfrost. So let's say we want a special Meek, try and play fast, special Fearless, just get these guys out there. You actually can't, because once Meek hits the field, Calarium's increase in Reamheart's attack by 100, so he is no longer 1521, so Fearless cannot be special summoned next to the Meek. But it is not that big of a deal, because say, oh crap, I can't do that. It's fine, because we can just activate Visas, pop the Meek, special Starfrost here, and then we could do the whole shebang 1, 2 being Meek in the grave, he'll special another Meek, and then Calarium for the 1 reborn. But just to keep things simple, we're going to get that Meek out because he was already there. Let's say that comes from the deck. But now we control a Visa Starfrost, so it doesn't matter if everybody's attack or defense is up by 100, 200, it's completely irrelevant. Now we can go ahead and special summon the Fearless. Something I didn't mention that I'm going to talk about, and I just realized it's probably a good idea to talk about in this video, is your zone placement, because your zones are very important, but not crazy important, because it comes down to only 2 cards. Cross Sheep, you definitely do not want to block your center zone and your far left zone, or far right if he is over here. You do not want to completely clog that up with a level 10 synchro or something, because it will absolutely decimate your plays, not being able to reborn a Meek or a Fearless from the graveyard. You're going to end on a much smaller board if your zones are a little bit off. And then Lightheart, I always summon Starfrost in 1 left from the center, and if they have a monster here in that extra monster zone, I'll summon him here. That way it's just very easy. Link 1 and put him there. That way I know the monster zone will be empty underneath him. So once he searches Reichphobia, activate Reichphobia here. That will add Reichhart's in hand, and then he can special underneath this Lightheart with no problems. But I'll talk about zones as I do test hands. Let's keep moving forward into 1-card combos. Just for visual reference, this is going to be our not shuffled very good 4 cards, and then let's just say our 5th was a Foolish Burial. As far as 1-card combos, it's pretty much only Foolish Burial goods, but there is a Bestial variant of this deck I am working on. A very similar deck that I actually got a lot of ideas from, just got top 32. Since my deck profile, the Nationals that just happened, got top 32. He runs a Bestial sort of variant with 3 Excel Synchrons, or I'm sorry, Assault Synchrons. He runs Assault Synchron, 3 Lubellions, and some Bestials. But my deck right now, here's a screenshot of my deck on the TCGPlayer mobile app. My deck's already $777, which low-key has me kind of wanting to sell it because I am a vendor and collector. But the deck is just so dang fun. So anyway, let's do this. So let's pretend this is our hand. Let's move it back here. So we're going to activate Foolish Burial Goods. Like I said, it's like the only 1-card combo you could possibly do. And honestly, sometimes I would rather, instead of Foolish Burial Goods, just be a Meek and then just boom, set 1 pass. But in that situation, you'd hope like this is 3 Imperms or something like that. But we'll activate Foolish Burial Goods. That's going to send Trivy Karma to the grave. Trivy Karma's effect, we will activate that and search the obvious target, which is going to be the field spell. We can activate the field spell, search out our Reamheart. Normal summon Reamheart, activate his effect to search a Meek. That's what you could do. I mean, like I said, you can search any Mannadium, monster, spell, or trap, just any Mannadium card. So here you can search kind of whatever you want, but I like to get Meek out for 2 reasons. Number 1, you can special him right here and you have access to a level 6. And in our deck profile, it is going to be these 2. So Charge Warrior, we could go into him, Synchro 6 into him, and immediately have a 2000 body on board. Activate effect to draw 1. Let's see what we would draw. An Imperm, okay. So still not doing very well there. Or we could go Coral Dragon. And then if we either draw or have a way to search any level 4 during our next turn, turn Coral Dragon into a level 10 Synchro because he is a tuner. And instead of 2000 attack, he has 2400 attack. The only downside is you can't activate his effect and immediately draw like with Charge Warrior. You basically have to wait for him to be destroyed, but that is fine. That's what we are going to do. We're going to Synchro 6 into Coral Dragon. And here's where we would just pass. So it looks bad, and it really is for this deck, but it's not too bad because if they pop Coral Dragon or get rid of him somewhat somehow without really reading him or reading Calarium, he'll go to the grave, and we'll do 1-2. Coral Dragon being 2. We're going to draw one off him. Wow, I did not shuffle very well at all. And then Calarium's effect is going to bring him back. This time it could be in defense. It doesn't really matter. He's at 2400 attack, only 500 defense, so we'll keep him there. So off of just Foolish Burial Goods, these are the cards that ended up being in play, with 4 cards still in hand. And then these 2 are the only 2 that remain on your field. That's basically the only 1 card combo, which is a con, but no deck is perfect. So let me go into a 2 card combo. I'm just going to show you 2 card combos, and then we will move on to test hands. Or I could show you a 3 card combo and kind of explain what I'm doing, but I think test hands will help the most, especially since I don't want this video being like an hour long. So this goes back to what I was talking about earlier in the video. The 2 card combo is going to be starting with any 2 of these, and I'm going to do both just so you can see the end board, but we're going to start off with just the better one, I suppose. So this is our hand, or this could even be like a Rhoda, so just any way to get him, and then a Meek. So we're going to normal Riemhart, his effect to search any Mannadium card. That's where we will add Obsidian. Once Obsidian is in hand, we will special summon Meek. That is not an activated effect, it is an inherent summon, which is a summon that is done by a game mechanic. His specifications or qualifications for special summon are met, so he just specials, it is not activated in hand or anything like that. From there, we'll activate Obsidian, target Meek. If that goes through, Meek will pop. In Obsidian, we can only search the field spell unless we already control it. So in this scenario, we have to search the field spell. So we're going to add a Calarium to hand. Once that is successfully added to our hand, this will go to the graveyard. And now we have the opportunity to activate Meek's effect in Grave. In Grave, Meek is going to special summon another Meek, and we will choose to increase his level by 2. But it is completely relevant because this is not the Meek that we will be using here in a moment. Calarium is in our hand, so now we will activate Calarium. Calarium effect to search our final piece, which is of course Visa Starfrost. Now Visa's is in our hand. Activate Starfrost, target Meek. If that goes through, Meek will pop, and Starfrost will summon. I adjusted the camera slightly so you guys can see more of what is going on, specifically as far as placement goes. So like I said earlier, I place Starfrost either in this column or in this column, directly beneath the extra deck monster zone on either side. So Starfrost is summoned, and now we will activate Calarium's effect and Meek's effect, go 1, 2. You want Calarium to be 1, because they don't have to negate it, all they have to do is destroy it and it won't go through. A field spell and a continuous spell need to be face up on the field for their effect to carry out. So we will chain block, quote unquote, by going Calarium 1, Meek 2. They are both trigger effects that happen simultaneously. Meek is going to special summon another Meek from the deck. Now we will increase his level by 2 because this is the one that is going to be used. And then Calarium, being 1, will reborn a tuner that was destroyed once per turn. In this case, it will be Meek. And at this point, for that particular chain of events, the 1, 2, keep in mind, this is our 5th summon. So Nib is an option and would completely destroy us right now. If they could possibly wait for just 1 more summon, we can get around it. But if you know they're running Nib, say this is game 2 or 3, you absolutely know they are running Nib. They appear to be counting your summons, so on and so forth. You could not do 1, 2 with Calarium and Meek. Skip the reborn off Calarium and only activate Meek and Grave to get this one out. That makes summon number 4. And then we go into Excel Synchro with those 2. And then his effect will bring a Meek back anyway. But since my opponent is a wall and I want to show you guys full combo. By the way, the only reason that works is because we run Stardust Dragon. But full combo, this is where we are. So let's say like, okay, let's wait a little bit longer. I'm not gonna nib here. All right, that is totally fine. So we will use our level 4 Meek and our Riemhart to special Excel Synchro. Activate Excel Synchro's effect on summon, 2 monster reborn, a level 2 tuner being Meek. Once you hit this point, you're pretty much just good to go. Worst case scenario, they nib you, you're gonna end on 1 level 10 Synchro anyway because Stardust Excel will tribute for Stardust Dragon and then immediately Synchro summon into a level 10 that is unaffected by activated effects, and Nib is an activated effect. So, but this is kind of where we want to go. Now we have some protection here, and then immediately continue our play. So the play goes Link into Lightheart. Lightheart's effect to search. He only has 1 search target. Not in our deck. Lightheart, the card himself, only has 1, and that is Reichphobia. So we'll add that to hand. Once that is in hand, we will just activate it. and use its effect to search. The search target there is going to be a Visa Starfrost or a Scareclaw monster. The only Scareclaw monster we run is Rykart, so we'll add a Rykart to our hand. Now that he is in our hand, we can use his effect. Once again, it's an inherent summon to special beneath Lightheart, and now Rykart's effect to search an Arrival. We will search Arrival. He searches a Scareclaw spell or trap, but we only run Arrival, so now this is in our hand. Since we have 3 or more monsters in defense position, the second part of his search effect will activate, letting us draw 1 card if the search was successful. I'm not going to use this card, but just to see, okay, so it was a Reamheart. But since that wasn't part of our starting 2 cards, I'm not going to use it or even draw it. Now we will activate Arrival, bringing out Starfrost. Arrival is not once per turn, but it does require them to special summon in defense. That is something to keep in mind. From here, what I like to do is go into a Light and Dark Chaos Angel. So now we are fully protected from nib and we can continue going off. I mean, if they were going to nib us, they would have done it already. But the Light and Dark Chaos Angel is huge, but it frees us up to go into a Dissipator. So we'll Synchro 10 there into Dissipator. Dissipator requires you to have a non-tuner dragon monster used as material, and that would be our Excel Synchro. And then of course just a level 2. Synchro those into Dissipator. I like to put him in defense because he's 35-35. And Lightning Storm is a card. And then Link 2 for Cross Sheep. So basically we build everything we built, and then it's Synchro, Synchro, Link. And this is what we are left with. From this point, we can look at this. We have 1 Visas in play, 1 Reamheart in play, and 1 Rykart in play, and they are all in the grave. So with Dissipator's effect, that gives us 2 Astralouds. If we had started with, let's say, 1 Meek and 1 Fearless, we would be ending on 4 Synchro monsters, 4 level 10 Synchros. But we did not. We only started with those 2 cards. So since Rykart is a target for Arrival, I like to keep him in the grave and use Reamheart. Once Reamheart hits the grave, he's basically a dead card for the rest of the duel, so we might as well banish him to get something. We will banish those 2 to Contact Fuse / Inherent Fuse for a Vicious Astrolaud. And this is why zones are important in keeping this far left one open, because if this was blocked up like this, we could summon that, but that is the end of our turn. So keeping that zone open, we will summon Astrolaud in defense, and now we will activate Cross Sheep's effect. Everybody on the board is now up 700 attack, and we can Monster Reborn a level 4 or lower monster. But keep in mind, the only relevant cards being up by 700 attack is going to be Chaos Angel and Dissipator, because Astrolaud is not staying on the field, and neither is Cross Sheep. So activate Cross Sheep's effect, and instead of bringing back a level 4, we will bring back any of our level 2s. It doesn't matter what you bring back here. We just need a level 2 tuner, and then we have a level 8 Vicious Astrolaud. From here, we Synchro 10 into Baron. We'll activate Dissipator's effect to bring back Visa Starfrost. Dissipator will Monster Reborn a light or dark monster in either Banished pile, and 99% of the time, it's going to be your own Visas. Right here, you can go a couple different ways. You could go into another Astrolaud if you wanted to, but I think the best thing here to do is, and what I usually end up doing, is activate Lightheart's effect. Once per duel, if you control a Visa Starfrost, you can special summon him from the grave. And now that he is on the field, we have a Link 2, a Link 1, and a Visa Starfrost. So we can go ahead and run this into a 3 negate Appaloosa that cannot be destroyed by battle. It is very important to mention that, because a lot of people, they like to maybe eat like 1 Appaloosa negate, maybe 2 if they're using a weak deck, and then normal summon, go straight to battle, attack her, get her off the field, and then continue playing in main phase 2. But since Chaos Angel was summoned using a dark, all monsters we control cannot be destroyed by battle, and then since he was used summoning a light, the synchros are unaffected by activated monster effects. So this is our end board, and this is all we can do. Just keep in mind, we are set up next turn with a Rykart and a Starfrost in grave, so if they get through the board, we can immediately get another Astrolaud out, pop a card, and that will gain half the attack or defense, whichever we want, as attack, and then he can't be destroyed by battle either. So it's really easy to get him out to like 4,000 or 4,250, and it's a free monster pop on our next turn if they happen to get through this board. So off of 2 cards, these are all the cards that came out into play. And keep in mind, if we did this properly and we got our search off of Rykart, or sorry, our draw off of Rykart, and had a full hand, our board would be left like this, and we would still have 4 cards in hand. So let's go into the other 2-card combo because it ends a little differently. So the other 2-card combo is going to be these two. Once again, for like the 50th time, any two of these three, but the less optimal one would be this, and the less optimal route would be, well, I don't know, it may be a more optimal route. I'm not sure. I'll have to test that. But the path I'm going to be taking with these two is not searching Reamheart at all. And let's see where we end up. So, of course, we are going to normal summon Meek, activate Obsidian, target Meek. Meek is going to pop, and we will get to search the field spell. Add Calarium to hand. Obsession will go to the grave. Now Meek's effect can activate. Special summon another Meek in defense position. Increase level by 2 because why not? I don't think we're going to use this Meek, but we might. So just in case, we'll increase his level by 2. Now we will activate Calarium. Calarium's effect to search, and here's where we could search him, activate his effect to pop Meek, to special and defense, 1, 2, bring out a Meek, don't increase by 2. Let's just do that real quick. I said I wasn't going to search him, but just to show you where it would end up. Pop Meek to special him, go 1, 2. Let's do it in order real quick. Another Meek from the deck, that's our second Meek, or our third Meek, and then special. So here's where you would end on a level 8. You could go Stardust Charge Warrior with these two, draw a card, and then I run Crystal Wing, and then Crystal Wing with Stardust Charge and this last Meek. End on that, which isn't very bad, and then pass. That's searching Reamheart going that route, so let's do the route that I wanted to test out with you guys. And that's not searching him at all. Meek's effect brought him out, so, and then we were here. Okay, so activate Calarium, effect to search. We are going to search for the Starfrost. Activate Starfrost, target Meek. We will pop Meek to special. As you guys can see, I always put Starfrost right here in this column to the left of the field center. And I chose to pop the Meek with Starfrost instead of banishing Obsidian because I want 2 Meeks on board. So we'll go 1, 2, Calarium being 1, Meek Chainlink 2. Chainlink 2 will special summon our third Meek from the deck. We will increase level by 2, and then Calarium will reborn this Meek. And as you can see, it is a very similar board. The only difference is in this 2-card combo, starting with these two guys and not searching Reamheart, searching a Starfrost instead, we have a level 4 Meek and a level 2 Meek, where in the last 2-card combo that was showcased, we had the Reamheart here and a level 4 Meek right here, where we could go into Excel, Reborn 1, and just leave that on the board to kind of help protect us from Nib. So this is, of course, the less optimal 2-card combo, but it does still exist, so we will immediately just link him off into Lightheart. Lightheart's effect to search for Reichphobia is right here. Let's add this to hand. Once again, as soon as it is in hand, we will activate it. Reichphobia's effect to search for a Scareclaw monster or Visa Starfrost and add it to hand. We have a Visas in grave, so we don't need to search him, but what we do need is a level 4. So we're going to bring out Reichheart. Reichheart's effect to special underneath or adjacent to another Scareclaw monster, and then on summon his effect to search a Scareclaw spell or trap. The only one we run is Arrival, so we will add Arrival right here. Once again, same as last time, we have 3 or more monsters in defense, so technically we could draw a card. Let's just see what it would be. It would be another Arrival. That would actually be insane and make this combo incredible, but we did not start this with a 2-card combo, so I'm going to put it back. And here's where we have some options. There's a couple ways we could go here. So we could go the Dissipator route and get rid of both of these guys to bring out Excel, and then Excel's effect to bring out 1 more Meek, and then Excel, and then 1 Meek to go into Dissipator. Or we could activate Arrival here, bring Starfrost back. Starfrost will be here in defense, and go Reichheart and Visas into a Light and Dark Chaos Angel, which by itself is really hard to get over. So those are the 2 routes you can go. And of course you can follow along with this video and choose both routes. I'm going to go the Dissipator route. Now that we have a level 4 on board, I'm going to synchro those. Keep in mind our level 4 Meek was the middle one. Going to synchro those guys for 8 into Excel Synchro. Excel Synchro's effect just because we can, to bring back another Meek. From this point we can go Dissipator, special summon in defense, and the reason why I went this route is because of Baron. So now we can link 2 into Cross Sheep. And this is a little more risky because now if they like nibbed us, it's just over. Like everything's gone. But now that Cross Sheep is out there, we are going to contact Fuse / Inherent Fuse for our Astrolaud using Rykart, which I don't really like to do. But since this run is not involving Reamheart at all, we have no choice. Banish those two for Vicious Astrolaud. Activate Cross Sheep's effect to bring a Meek back. And then Synchro 10 once again. We could go into a Dark Chaos Angel, but that's only monsters can't be destroyed by battle. I think in that scenario, a Baron would probably be better. Dissipator's effect, just to bring it back into circulation, we will get a Starfrost out, and then a Lightheart out. Dissipator brought a Light or Dark from the banished pile and special summoned it, and Lightheart's once per duel effect to where if I control a Visas, I can special summon him from the graveyard. And then, same ending as last time, go into a 3 negate Appaloosa, and we still have an Arrival in hand. So just for another body on the board, if you wanted to, you could just Arrival and bring Starfrost out once again, but it is what it is. Your opponent is going to lose 100 attack and defense for every defense monster on your side of the field because of Reichphobia. So maybe having that will help just a wee bit, but it is what it is. And once again, this is your end board, and these are the cards that we have gotten out off of the 2-card combo. Keep in mind that Reamheart was not used anywhere throughout this combo, even though he's the most important card in the deck other than Visas Starfrost himself. Now we're going to get into a couple test hands real quick, and then that will wrap the video up. And I just realized if there's something else you guys want to see about this deck, I could very, very easily do a part 2. This was a really complicated video to put together, and I wasn't really sure how to put it together or what information would be helpful to you guys, because I've been playing this deck every single day, at least 10 to 20 test hands a day for, I don't know, 6 weeks since Cyberstorm Access. Since I released that 100 pack video, I built the deck. I've been playing it non-stop, locals 4 times a week. Now it's 3 because I'm really busy, but it used to be 4 times a week, just this deck. So I don't really know what information you guys would like, but hit me with all your questions down in the comments and I will do a part 2, how to play Mannadium, if that is something that interests you guys. But I'm going to shuffle this up right here while I'm talking so you guys can see I'm not cheating or putting together an intentionally bad hand or an intentionally good hand. I don't care if you guys play the deck or not, I just think you should, at least online, because it's free and it's really fun. If you like really combo heavy decks and a deck that has tons of options, then this is definitely one to pick up, especially since Super Heavy is dead. Super Heavy was fun, it was a lot of combos, very combo heavy deck. But with Scarecrow being out, it just is what it is. So let's do 1 test hand. We might do 2. I'll record 2, but you might only end up seeing 1 depending on how long the video is. But actually, I'll organize this in a second just so it's all on film for you guys. Let's see what our hand is. Give us something good. Alright, we have a Called By, definitely good. Trivia Karma, you don't want to draw that, that's not very good. We got an Obsession, a Fearless, and a Foolish Burial Goods. So this is what you would consider a terrible hand, but we're going to see what we can do with it. I'm going to organize this real quick. Okay, I think this one's going to be short and sweet. I mean, this would be amazing if we had a great hand and it started off with Called By. Full combo. On Resolution, Droll and Lockbird. No Droll. No Droll today. Full combo, you're most likely going to win the duel. But drawing Trivia Karma, it happens. It will happen. So now your only option really is to pop it with your own Baron. But we are not complainers here. We're going to see what we can do. I'm going to normal summon Fearless. Going to activate Obsidian, target Fearless. Pop to search the field spell. We will add Calarium to our hand. That's the only thing we are allowed to add. Precision goes to the grave. Activate Fearless effect. Fearless is going to special summon another Fearless. I'll put him right here. There's no real place to put him. I just like to keep it on the right of the center, including the center. But let's just put him right there. So we do have an Obsidian engrave, but nothing to special off of it. So here's what we could do. We could go the route similar to what we did last time. The only difference is last time we had access to a level 4 Meek, and this time we did not. So now that that is done, we will activate Calarium. Let's do that in frame. Activate Calarium, effect to search. And here's where we're asking ourselves once again, are we going to go the Starfrost route, or do we want to go the Reamheart route? So we do have 1 tuner on the field and 1 engrave. So going Reamheart, what are we going to search off of it? We could go into a level 6 synchro, probably a Coral Dragon. Off Riamhart's search, we could search reframing. So we have an Omni Negate, a level 6 synchro when he leaves the field. We get to draw a card. We did Visas in the combo segment, so we're going to go ahead and just search Riamhart. We're going to add Riamhart, and then once again, we have options here. I mean, let's just go ahead, activate Riamhart, target Fearless. Pop Fearless to special. We'll do Chainlink 1 Calarium, Chainlink 2 the Fearless we just popped, Chainlink 3 Riamhart. Riamhart, we will get a little bit of protection. We will add our reframing. And then Fearless effect to send out another Fearless. There he is. And then Calarium's effect to Monster Reborn, a tuner that has been destroyed. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We are going to go into Stardust Charge Warrior. The only reason we're doing Charge Warrior is because I opted for the ending on a level 8 synchro. And Coral Dragon is a tuner, Stardust Charge is not. Activate Stardust Charge effect. Draw one, Rhoda. Actually not bad. We can do stuff off this. Since I'm not showing a combo, I am actually going to keep that draw. Let's activate Rhoda, and we are going to grab a Rykart. So Charge Warrior can come in handy sometimes. Now I'll activate Obsidian in the grave, banish to special. We'll special him in defense. Activate his effect to search. He's going to add an arrival. Add arrival into our hand. We will link Rykart away for a Lightheart. We did not get a +1 because there wasn't 3 monsters in defense. We will link him away for Lightheart. Activate Lightheart's effect to search Ryphobia. Ryphobia right there, add to hand. Immediately from hand, we're going to activate it. Once again, effect to search. This time, we are going to get our big dude. We're going to grab a Visas Starfrost. The downside here in this position that we're in right now is all 3 Fearlesses are out. But I just remembered something, it doesn't even matter. Visas Starfrost, target Lightheart, pop Lightheart to special. Now we will activate Arrival, bringing back Rykart. From here, what we're going to do, a Light and Dark Chaos would be nice, but we have no negates on board at the moment. So we are going to Synchro 10 for Baron. From this point, we're going to set Trivikarma, Baron to pop the Trivikarma. Trivikarma banish to search for a card that lists Visas Starfrost. We're going to search Arrival. So Calarium would be the obvious choice once again, because then in turn 2 we can start everything over again. Grab our Riamhart to grab Meek, because this entire hand has gone through everything. There's no Meek's been used. So we're going to actually grab another Arrival. Just for this funky little play, we are going to Arrival the Starfrost, and then from there we are going to link 2 into Cross Sheep, banish Starfrost and Riamhart to get an Astrolaud out. Astrolaud's effect to Monster Reborn a Fearless. And now it comes down to, do we want Crystal Wing or do we want another level 10? We can't get Dissipator. Chaos Angel would only be dark. So we could go like Chang Ying or something. But since Astrolaud can't be destroyed by battle, I think just for the memes, we're just going to go ahead and go into a Crystal Wing. Also, we would like to keep one defense monster on board, and he is actually at 3,700 attack, along with Baron. And then now we can set 2, actually, yeah, keep 1 in hand so they think maybe he has an Ash or an Imperm he doesn't want to set or something like that. So we got Omni Negate here, we have a Called By, which is definitely not bad. There, and a Crystal Wing. So here's the other thing. If we get, like, say we get a Meek on our next draw, this is a level 8 dragon. We could normal him and go into Dissipator and then get our Starfrost back. But this is going to be our end board for test hand number 1. Okay, test hand number 2. Phone is dying. I do record on my phone. Seems like a pretty good camera. Phone is dying. So let's do this quickly. Hopefully I don't mess anything up. Let's see what we have here. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Not preferred, but not bad. We will normal summon Meek. Activate Obsidian, target Meek. Pop Meek to search the field spell from the field spell. Do that. He is now in the grave. We will go Meek's effect to special summon another Meek. We will increase his level by 2. From there, we will activate Calarium. put that in frame. Calarium's effect to search. Here's where that 2-card combo segment of the video comes in handy, because that's basically what we're working with right now. And we will activate Starfrost, target Meek to pop it, because we want to get 2 Meeks out. Put Starfrost there, then we will go 1, 2. Meek being number 2, we will resolve him first. He's going to special summon another Meek. We'll increase level by 2. I don't think it'll come up, but it might. And then Monster Reborn off of Calarium's effect. From there, we continue our combos. Activate Lightheart's effect after the Link 1 using Visa Starfrost to add Reichphobia. That is now in hand. Activate Reichphobia. Now we're going to search our Scareclaw monster. We're going to get Reichheart right there. Special Reichheart underneath Lightheart as per his summoning conditions. Effect to search. We are actually going to search for Arrival again. That is our second Arrival. This is another reason why it's really good to have 2 Arrivals in the deck. Also, if you get both in your hand, usually it's a free level 10. We're going to shuffle because we're allowed to draw 1 now, since there are 3 or more monsters in defense position. Then we will draw. Our draw is Trivikarma, because why would it not be? From this point, let's do this. Let's go Excel Synchro right here. Excel Synchro's effect to bring a Meek back. And then we will synchro those 2 into Dissipator. We will also go ahead and catch ourselves a Cross Sheep. Link 2 into Cross Sheep. From here, let's see. We will play Arrival. Bring back Visa Starfrost. Then we will play Arrival. Bring back a Reichheart. Then we will go into a Light and Dark Chaos Angel. We will contact Fuse Visa Starfrost. Oh, that's right, we're running without Reamheart this run. Banish those 2 to contact Fuse into Astrolaud. And now we will activate Cross Sheep's effect. Cross Sheep is going to bring back a level 4 lower. We're going to choose Meek. From there, we're going to Synchro 10 for Baron. Activate Dissipator's effect